You cite Juan Roman Riquelme as one of your big influences.
How I learnt about Riquelme was YouTube. You know, I got on YouTube and old videos of Zidane and Bestie. I got all them. Before you know it, I'm YouTubed up to the max. It's amazing how much you watch for YouTube. It's mad. You go on YouTube and then you go on car crashes, then you go on planes really struggling to land, and then you go on earthquakes, and you go on aliens.
I've interviewed you before for The Observer. I have, yeah. You accused me of trying to touch you up.
I didn't accuse you. You was touching me
I was not touching you. I got the impression at the time you just finished playing football that you were a little bit lost, not finding it difficult to come to terms with not playing football anymore.
It's fading. I struggled. It happens with a lot of footballers, I suppose. You know, I missed it so much. I felt like a part of me went, if you want, a part of me that I still, because in my head I could still play. But my body wouldn't allow me to. A
lot of players do seem to struggle with the transition.
From being a boy, that's all I ever wanted to do, and then all of a sudden achieving that, then all of a sudden finishing, you know, you don't want it to finish. So that is such a high life and such a great way to live, playing football for a living, and all of a sudden it's gone.
And does the fact that you weren't able to go out on your own terms, you were kind of forced out because of your knee?
Towards the end of my career, I felt like a glass ornament out there. And whatever happened, I would get injured. If someone leant on me, I'd get injured. And there was one thing that happened at MK Dons. I was training. Alan Smith, who used to play at Man United. I remember him leant on me. All he does was leant on me. And I fell over. Back in the day, I would have been gone. He wouldn't have even smelt me. And then I thought, nah, it's time to hang him up. And I woke up one Monday morning and I phoned Cole Robinson, the manager at MK Dons, and said, that's my lot, Cole.
During your career, you had two very long spells out with knee injuries. When you're on your own recuperating from an injury like that, how can you talk us through what kind of an empty experience that is?
It's an absolute nightmare. I struggle with boredom. I really do. You know, when I get bored, I get mischievous and I get, you know, terrible. You know, I just end up playing up basically.
You obviously have this reputation for being a bit of a clown and a joker. Does it ever bother you that sort of eclipses the fact that you get remembered for that rather than you were a pretty good footballer?
I suppose I like that, and I strive on that, and the older I got, the more I played on it. I was the shyest young kid you've ever seen. I wouldn't pick up the phone at 16 years of age. I was at Dartford Football Club and my manager was called Gary Julians. My mum said, you've got to go to Gray's Inn Northfleet, they want you, they're going to pay you more money, it's a better football club. And you ain't playing at Dartford, you've got to call Gary Julians and let him know. I said, I'm not calling a manager. So now I'll be the first one on the phone, I'm knocking his door now. So difference in person really and confidence grew really quickly for football, and that's what else football done. And that's what else happens when, you know, you got crowd giving you grief every week, and it makes you stronger really. You know, it makes you, in every little thing that happened to me in my career, it makes you stronger, definitely.
In the office environment anyway, so there's a fine line between someone who's a good laugh and the life and soul and the guy who's just a complete arsehole. Do you worry about that you cross that?
Yeah, I suppose it's just a game to me, isn't it? In a weird way. I've never thought about it really. It just happens. It just happens.
So does that make sense? Your confidence.
Does that make sense? No, you'd never shatter my confidence. This is unshatterable.
You talk about Roy Hodgson there. You didn't get on great with him, did you?
No, I didn't. I just struggled to understand where he was coming from a lot of the time, you know?
When you were trying to negotiate a new contract at Fulham, you had 16 months left, you were injury prone, so you wanted a longer deal. He didn't turn up for a meeting.
I bring my agent and the chief exec sitting there from your office, and all of a sudden your governor doesn't turn up, and you phone him, he's on a golf course. You know, that don't put you, you know, he's telling you one thing, he don't really want you. If you can't get a new contract, who's going to take you with a dodgy knee? Because you've got a dodgy knee. It was lucky Hull did. Hull took a gamble. Hull took a massive gamble.
Which backfired spectacularly.
Unbelievable, and it can do. I was gutted for them, of course I was. I was gutted for myself, I was gutted for them. Blimey, you know, first game, wallop, do your knee.
Some Hull fans think they're not big fans of yours.
Oh, 100%, I get that.
Why do you think it is, or what would you say to them in your defence?
You get fans coming up to you, you know, they want to see you out on the pitch. But if I'm not fit, I can't get out on the pitch. It's as simple as that. And they see me being my laughing and jokey self. He shouldn't be laughing and joking, he should be more serious. I'll just stand who I am, you know what I mean? They want me out on the pitch, grinding for their team, which I wanted to do, but my body wouldn't allow me to do that.
Well, were you behaving yourself or were you out?
Listen, when I was injured, I used to go out when I was a lad out, and I knew I wouldn't get a telling off from the manager, of course. But it was never over excessive, it was by far from that. But I can see, and all of a sudden, a supporter will hear that, then another one, then on the terrace before you know it, you're alcoholic, you don't give a fuck about the football club. I didn't think it'd ever happen to me. I'd always thought I'd never get injured. I'll be alright. Michael Owens of this world, Owen Hargreaves, now they're injury prone. All of a sudden, 27, I was injury prone.
Do you ever feel guilty picking up the money when you're not doing anything?
Yeah, of course. There is a little bit of guilt and you ask yourself questions, you know. I was focused on coming back and playing at one day. You know what I mean? I'm still a whole player. I'm still got to believe that I'm going to come back and perform for them and earn the worth, really. That's how I see it. And that's how, when I used to have interviews up there, I'll show you. I used to always say that. I'll prove to you. I'll prove to you that I was worth that. I didn't, but I felt like I could at the time.
When you got your England call-ups,
yeah,
I presume it was a huge thrill, but I've heard you describe your time away, you know, with the England squad, and it just sounds really boring and regimented and tedious. Was that the case?
No, a little bit, yeah. Not all of it, because the first bit I was buzzing, because it's the greatest honour you can ever have, and it was me. So I found it a bit hard to be myself, and with that, I don't enjoy it as much. That's what I'm trying to get at. But at the same time, I know I'm playing at England, so believe me, there weren't one bit I'd never go again. But I just found it very, you know, you'd go and have something to eat, you'd go in your room, do that for 2 weeks. You'd have a little bit of banter with the boys, but it was nothing like your club.
It's almost like being in prison, you know. You're told when to sleep, when to eat, when to...
A little bit.
Do you think if it was more relaxed, the players might
I've always
be
felt
able to
that.
express
That's
themselves
me. I've
a bit
always
more?
felt that, and that's what always made the football club where I was at. I'd always push for that. Why put curfews on? I just feel a bit shackled, like, you know, little things like that. I just felt it's not needed. If I ever run a football club, I wouldn't want it run like that.
If you ever ran a football club, it would be
fucked.
relegated within a fortnight.
You think that, don't you?
Yeah,
but I don't think we would, see.
You never actually got the England cap. How much of a blow was that?
Gutted.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I'm a bit gutted about in my career. First one was Celtic. I had a chance to sign for Celtic. I'll always think I should have done that. And the second one was, I didn't get a bloody England cap, you know. But
But you more than made up for that by going on I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
I'm not sure about that.
Was that...
That didn't last long either.
Was that for the money? Did you think it might be a laugh?
I just done it for me, really.
Yeah.
I done it for me, and that's it.
And you got accused of bullying on it.
But I'll give everyone stick. I'll give Edwina as much as I'd give Jake. I mullered Edwina. I mullered her. Like bad. A Barnet every day. What's she doing? The John Major thing. Every day I brung it up. It's happened, innit? So you've got to give it to her, haven't you? That's exactly what it was. That didn't get shown, though. That's better footage than me showing two blokes going out. It's crap. Show me destroying Edwina, that'd be better.
People think Dean Winters is thick, but I'm not thick at all. You know, I like to have a laugh and a joke, but when I want to be serious, I'll be serious.